welcome everybody to this episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with
Uncle Spoke.
And Damon Armstrong.
we are the communication podcast. You know what I mean? Every podcast communicates, but what we do, we try to nurture a transactional communication. Bear with us because our special guest, Bobby Martin, he'll be on real soon. He's in some Boston traffic. You know what I'm saying? So it's Friday. So we're gonna give him, we got to give the brother a little bit of latitude. You know what I'm saying?
You get grace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? Good people get good grace. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely appreciate him taking the time out of his busy Friday.
Oh yeah. Just to give y'all a little bit of background, I'm going to repeat the same thing once he comes on. But I met this young man. Let me see, Bobby, maybe 2 years behind me, but I met him at the University of Pittsburgh. He was also a fellow basketball alumni. Very good, a basketball standout. He was with a good crew: Brian Shorter, Sean Miller, Jason Matthews, and some other great guys. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that crew.
Yeah, keeping up the Pitt tradition. You know what I mean? But also Bobby is from, and I want him to confirm this, but he's from Atlantic City. You know what I mean? And really and truly, when I first met him, because I was living in Pittsburgh at the time, when I first met him, I saw the energy of the man. Me in person, in my whole life, I've always had this energy meter of people. You feel what I'm saying? Whether or not they live up to the energy, I've always been able to detect it. So looking forward to him coming on, and we'll cover all these little bases when he comes. Jaquari, how was your day today, brother?
My day was it was restful, man. We had a little snow coming down here in the area I live in, and it activated one of our out of office days, for the weather or whatever. So I sat around and napped and watched Japanime all day.
Mm-hmm. He said Japanime. That's my man. But do you know that? Fun fact that the majority of anime that we watch is from Korea.
Okay, all right.
I can understand the consistency, behind it.
Damon,
Always been that guy.
Look, I just threw some little. What was the name of the game? What was the name of the game? It was the craze. Oh, man.
Trivial Pursuit or something?
Trivial Pursuit. I threw some Trivial Pursuit on them, Damon. How was your day today, brother?
My day was good, man. I made sure that I enjoyed the people that was in my presence, man. And it turned out great, man. You know what I'm saying? Gave me perspective on life and all that stuff. I had a beautiful day today.
Glad to hear that. I myself is also, when I'm able to salvage a smile, and I'm being real about this, man, because understanding the upbringing that we guys had, and I'm talking about, you can put the word struggle, but really and truly it's challenges that the three of us faced every day with our parents. Challenges. That's what it is because we're here. So that's a challenge. You get through it as a challenge. So being the age that I am, gratitude, when I can find something, because that's what I do with my sons. I'm like, look, replace the things you can replace that's negative. Replace it with something that's good. You know what I'm saying? Replace it, man. And like I said, folks who's joining us, Bobby Martin is going to be on directly, so be patient with us. He's going to be here, especially my Pitt fan. You know what I mean? The folks that went to school with him, that know of him and all these things, he's going to be here. But yeah, man, understanding that it's easy to complain. It's very easy to complain. You know
So
what I'm saying?
you've been knowing him about 32 years then, bro.
Yeah, I met him in, let me see. Easy 2 or 3 years after. I'm gonna let him confirm it once he come on. 2 or 3 years after I graduated. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, it's probably three because Charles, he played with Charles and Demetrius and Jerome. They were freshmen. Him and
Yeah, they
Darrell
same
Ford
age
and
as me.
Sean Miller. You know what I mean? They were freshmen. So, you know, not trying to do the math because sometimes even though I can do the 2 plus 2 is 4. Sometimes I
Yeah,
don't.
them cats, me's my age, was my age.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
God rest his soul. You know what I mean? He and I tried to be impactful for all the little youngins that we knew. You know what I'm saying? Just with GP. Trying to be good people. You know what I mean? Not saying I didn't get it, but can I be honest with you? And I want you guys to give me your opinion about this. All three of us went to college, right? So we're all kind of grouped in together, even though you're 8 years younger than me, Jaquan. Does it seem to you, the folks that was in college, does it seem to you they were pretty self-serving and selfish? Now it might just be me. That's why I'm asking you a question. You know what I'm saying? Because my people, it was a privilege to go to college, right? So I think it sparked. Now I'm not talking about the athletes, but some athletes are included in that. But it kind of sparked. I used to detect a little bit of elitism. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, did you guys detect that, or is it just me?
And from my experience, man, as you guys know, I was an older student or whatever, so all of the angst of being away from home and on your own for the first time and all that stuff, I've been well past that. But I did notice it. I mean, the people I was around, in my department or whatever, they were young, they were kids. So they hadn't at that point in time even began to develop themselves.
Yeah.
So I found myself in a position to be given a lot of grace.
Okay.
You know,
Damon, what about yourself?
well, you had to, bro. Just to follow up what you said, Corey. You had to have that mindset, man, because when you see people, when you go through a situation and you see people beginning this situation and whatever struggles come with it, your first inclination is that okay, you're gonna learn. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you had a wrong attitude. And that is the thing I think that people didn't really pay attention to. That old school cat that was like, hey man, you don't have to be so aggressive, man. You can achieve your goal. You can be about who you are, but it doesn't have to be against anybody. You know what I'm saying? Don't throw me up in the mix and say, well, I'm gonna do better, I'm gonna do different and better than him. You don't even have to mention it.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? Just
hold on, Damon. I like that, but I want to know your experience first. What do you feel? Do you
that
disagree
was
with?
my experience.
Well, elaborate on it for me.
Not to get into a long story, long dialogue, man. My experience was this. In going through the process, I'm speaking in terms of just going to playing college basketball and being a college student and graduating, right? And going through the process, it was never brought to me that, hey man, you know what I'm saying? You need to be the continue to be this example because people are paying attention to you. That was never the case. You know what I'm saying? My situation always came to, all right, he wound up being this guy, so we have to pay homage to him. But in real time, I never knew what that felt like.
Gotcha.
Saying all I knew was, well, yes, I'm gonna challenge myself against this guy, and I'm gonna be better than him. But I'm not gonna give him credit for giving me inspiration.
Gotcha. I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
So I don't even know what that felt. I at the time I didn't know what that felt like in real time.
I knew you was gonna be different, man. But yeah, see, Damon is one of the most introspective guys. He look at things from different angles and stuff like that. So I knew I was looking forward to both you guys' answers to this. But it's good answer, Damon.
What's up,
Welcome.
Mr. Martin?
Yeah.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on?
How
Welcome,
you
Going
doing,
brother.
on?
brother?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Man,
I'm
cannot
blessed over
complain.
here, bro.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Pretty
But
good.
we're
That's what's up.
glad you're joining us today. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm happy to be here, baby. Strong perspectives, baby. Strong perspectives. I love it.
Well, look, I tell you what, two things. Tell us how your day was, right? And then three things actually. Tell us how your day was, and I'm going to remind you. And then give us a brief introduction on how you and I know each other, and then we can go into everything else.
Okay, no problem. So my day was good, man. Right now I'm actually building an AAU team for my daughter, who's a sophomore now, because I ain't gonna be giving her to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going on out there. So I'm building a team. So I went to see one of her teammates play, and there was a little bit of traffic coming back. It's a good day, man. Just building. How do I know Big Keith Armstrong? Well, I'm gonna start by saying that when you're a young buck and you're walking on campus to a new college, new university. This was the University of Pittsburgh. You're looking for friendly faces, man. I didn't know anybody in Pittsburgh, and big bro, you were a big bro. You were kind to me. To a 17-year-old kid walking up in there not knowing nothing, and just basically taking me by the wing and talking to me, man. And I appreciated that more than anything, and I still appreciate it to this day. I actually try to do the same things with the kids that I have the fortunate ability to affect their lives, man. It's important to me. You need good people around you. You need good people, and especially these days.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how I got to know Keith. Off the court, on the court. He was knocking me around, picking me up, knocking me down again, pick me up, keep fighting, young fella, keep running. You don't want to be in here right now. Watch yourself. It was, baptism by fire.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that when I met you, see, and I was telling my brothers before you came on, I was like, listen, I'm an energy guy. And when I first matter of fact, I met you, uh, Darrell, Brian,
Yep.
because Brian had to sit out of here. But when I met you
Yeah.
guys, the energy, see, me, that confirms everything. And I told Damon and Jaquar, as a matter of fact, this is my youngest brother, uh, Uncle Spoke. That's my youngest brother, Jaquari Armstrong,
Welcome, brother.
and
Welcome.
and and that's Damon
Appreciate you.
Armstrong. This is Bobby Martin, man. Hey, look, like I said, I told these guys, I said, look,
I
this is
remember it, brother.
a great individual. You know what I'm saying? And just your energy. I've always been an energy guy. You know what I'm saying? So if I got some negative energy, it's not that I'm going to be negative towards you. No, what I would do is not have a lot of interaction. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the thing about it was, your class, that was a great class. That was a great when it comes to basketball, it was a great class. You know what I mean? So that was, I look back fondly because we was young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
being young, man. You said you were 17 when you walked on campus. That
17 when I walked on campus, man.
that is crazy. And I met you in the summertime because I was living in Pittsburgh at the time.
Yep. You were living in the Berg. That's right.
I was living in Pittsburgh. So, every time I saw you, I wanted to make sure you was good, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
I remember it well, man.
look, Bob liked to be out. He's from Atlantic City, so he liked to be out. You know what I mean? Because look, our mutual friend Demetrius Gore, that was my best friend.
Yeah, man.
Me and Meech, we always like to take care of y'all, man. You played what, 2 years with Meech or one?
1 year with Meech. Yeah, he was a senior when I was a freshman. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, God bless the dead, man. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
so you came in 86.
87.
87, man.
87.
Yep.
That's when I was trying to figure it out. I said, I'm gonna let Bobby clear it up once he come on. Look, I'm an old head. I'm a real old head. You know what I'm saying? So some things I gotta be reminded of. Why don't we just do this? Give us a little bit and take your time with this, brother, because we're here as long as you want to be here. We'll talk about your basketball journey.
Okay.
Just a little bit before that, siblings, your mom, father, everything.
Yep.
Just give a little bit about that.
So, born and raised in Atlantic City. Never knew my mother or father. My mother died right after I turned 1. My dad, never knew him, so I was raised by my grandmother.
Okay.
And, my grandmother, she was born in 1924 and, in North Carolina. So she'd been a fighter all her life. And I'll say this, I loved her to death, but I did not like her because she wasn't no joke. She grew up with her brothers and she learned how to fight. She was a fighter, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this about her, out of the many things that I learned from her, she taught me 3 things. She said, 1, never believe that a man's not supposed to cry because if you hold in that pain, it's going to kill you. All right. 2, she said, develop your own voice because if you don't, other people are going to speak for you and you're going to hate it. All right. And 3 was a lesson in radical self-respect. She said, boy, if you ever get too big for your britches and you disrespect me, I will shoot you. And she kept a loaded 22.
Yeah.
And she showed me that. She said, I love you too much to kill you, but it's going to hurt. Right. So
I'm gonna pop you. I'm gonna pop you in the leg or something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow. Man, how do you question that? I mean, you have to.
Hey. No, I didn't question it, man. I made sure that I watched my tongue. She taught me how to use my tongue, use my words wisely. That's real, man. She said, think about what you got to say before you say it, because you can't take it back.
Right.
And it's believable,
She raised me, man.
It's believable, man, because if she'd have had 38, then you would be like, okay, yeah. But a 22, she can handle a 22.
Yeah, he might survive the 22.
She can handle the recoil on the 22. So yeah, she'll probably pop you.
People with a 22, they want to hurt somebody because it's gonna bounce around.
Hey, right, Bobby. 22 bounce around, man. You know what I'm saying?
You just got to shoot somebody.
Yeah. It bounced around.
1920, 1920, you said?
1924.
24.
That's
24.
1924.
That was a year before my dad's mom was born. She was born in 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see
So
go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
No, I was the only thing that was something short. That's the thing that really and truly we always strive for is being the parents that we was blessed to have. You feel what I'm saying? As far as looking at the world in a certain way and carrying yourself a certain way. That's just really that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, but go ahead and finish, brother. We with you.
No, so this was Atlantic City, so She said, I'll kill you before I let the streets take you. So she made sure that when I was young, she surrounded me with books, man. I mean, this was, so I was in the Atlantic City Children's Theater. We was doing plays like Jesus Christ Superstar, all the stuff like that. I was Jesus. So I know that whole thing, man. I still remember it to this day. And it was Maya Angelou, it was Paul Laurence Dunbar, Langston Hughes, James Baldwin. She just kept me immersed in that type of stuff. So I was a nerd, right? I didn't even think about basketball. You know how they say you can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Well, that was me,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't care about basketball. It was drama class. So finally, I went out for my grade school team, got cut. Didn't like the feeling, didn't know what it was. I just didn't like it. Ended up making a team, blah, 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 all that stuff, and fell in love with the game, and, it's almost like you try to tell the kids today, um, you're not doing it for any external validation, man. You got to do this because you love it. It's the grind that we love. We all athletes. We love that grind, right? We weren't even thinking about getting nothing out of it. Just let's just go ball.
Yeah.
So that's the way I grew up. And, when I was growing up, I mean, Keith, you probably played. Yeah, you played against Willie Glass.
Oh yeah, I did.
Guys like that, Willie Glass, Walter Berry, all them guys from St. John. So those are the guys we looked up to. And, Willie, especially because he was from Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was my childhood, man. I mean, I ended up doing very well in high school, got the McDonald's thing, McDonald's All-American. That was a lot of fun. I'm still disappointed to this day that I didn't get to travel because all we had to do was go to Philly. I thought I was going to go to Texas or something. I'm going across the bridge, 30 minutes across the bridge. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere, and, from there, just to Pitt. Like I say, I was born and raised in Atlantic City, but I grew up in Pittsburgh. When I got there, man, it was no joke. I didn't see many bodies like Keith. Right? I ain't see, none of them, man. And Charlie and Jerome, and it was a good time, man. I really had some good brothers looking out for me, man. It was really, really good. So that's basically my childhood, man.
Yeah, that's wild, man. So uh, you mentioned how you encourage your players and everything to to ball from a place of wanting to be better at the game. I'm interested. I'm interested to know, man. How do you address angry players, man? The players who play and excel, from rage and lack of having stuff.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How do you get them past that? Because that fire can't burn forever.
No, so what I do is I've got more of I ask them to take a philosophical look at it, right? Because with all that energy, you got to put it somewhere. So you allow them to have that, but then you challenge their mindsets. Yo, if you think, I mean, this is what I do to even my kids, even my son, I was doing it to him. Yo, if you're gonna go off every time, you're gonna play this angry, then what happens when you calm down? You got to use your mind, man, because that energy burn quick. That fight, when you so riled up and you're not thinking, right? So now, I asked my son and the kids that I'm with now, I say, look, you got to start thinking the game a little bit. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? Because it's not just you out here. You dealing with, like, for example, kids want scholarships to college these days, right? I'm like, yo, these coaches are old school. What makes you think that your mindset is going to fit what they want? You can go off all you want to, but if they don't see that you can control yourself when everybody else is losing their mind, you're not on their radar. So this is no longer, right now it has to be a choice. You have to choose. You don't have to choose the right way, but you can't avoid the consequences. So right now, it's on you. I'm not here to babysit you. Right? You got to choose. I'm gonna treat you like a young man or a young woman. right? This is what it is, right? And you're going to go through this all your life. It's not just basketball. This is life. We got to control, we athletes. I remember, because we big and strong, I try to meet, is no matter how angry I might have been, you try to meet people with a smile because you got to give them a chance because they're scared anyway, right? They feel intimidated, right? So you got to meet them with a smile just so you give them a chance to get to know you. And it doesn't feel good all the time, but I'm not doing things because it feels good. We don't grow when we feel good, right? So I try to lead by example.
Hey, Bob, because we kind of jumping a little ahead. So let us know what took you to this point. Oh no, let's just do this. Talk about your college career and experience, college experience, and then talk about the professional experience, and then go into what took you to the point that I'm not sure if you explained that while I was gone. If it is, I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But
No problem. All right, so college, that was I guess that's the bed of roses that you get to land on every day, right? You can make a mistake and you can come back from it. The coach tell you, nah, it's okay, it's okay. I came in with Jason, Darrell, Brian, and Sean. We still talk to this day. I keep in touch with Jason. Sean, I haven't seen in a little bit, but I see Dap every time we go to. I go to Pittsburgh. We all make sure we keep in touch, man. Charlie, I haven't talked to in a bit either, but we do keep in touch. He'll give a call. He'll bless me with a call once in a while. I'll see him walking around somewhere.
You both. Yeah, go
Yeah, and Pittsburgh, man. Like I said, that's where I grew up. My favorite person, I'm not going to say favorite, but one of my favorite people in Pittsburgh was Jack Giles. I don't know if you remember Jack.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, Jackie Giles. That was my man. And he was the cat that was, he was Mr. Knowledge, right? He would always talk to us because we were his freshmen.
Yeah.
And he made such an impact on me, man. He knew what I was talking about when I'm quoting Baldwin or I'm quoting Maya Angelou or something like that. And Jack was real smooth and cool. I remember one specific time when I knew he was on our side, man. We was all sitting in study hall, and Charlie was in there. And Charlie's the man. This Mr. Olympia. He getting, doing everything. He the man, Mr. All American. And Charlie's getting a little impatient, and he's like, Jack, come on, man. I've been here a long time. And Jack was with me at the time, and we were all sitting at the table. And Jack turned around. He looked at her. He said, "Well, motherfucker, you should have a lot done." I said, "Ah." So I was like, "Yo, that's man." We knew he was for us, man. And he would bring us over his parents' house, man. We get to sit down and have home cooked meals with his mom, Vera Hamill, man. Those are the best times I had at Pitt, man. I mean, it was the people in Pittsburgh were open, they were hard workers, man. I didn't have many problems there, man, except the ones I caused for myself. You know what I'm saying? So,
Of course.
it was I think fondly back on them days, man. I have nothing but good things to say about those people in that city. They embraced me. Um, College ball was awesome. It was the Big East. We were trying to continue a legacy. We didn't win as much as we wanted to, but that comes with growth.
Yeah.
I think that what we did do is we grew, right? We grew through the tough times, and like they say, you're only happy when you're growing. Didn't feel too good, a lot of times, but we had Coach Evans, and I was thinking about Coach Evans, and I was telling my daughter this, man, and I said, and I told my son this too. Like, when I was young, I didn't understand him. I'm not saying that he was the best communicator,
Yeah.
right? No, actually, you know what? Let me take that back. He could communicate. What we didn't do was connect.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the two, right? He wasn't a connect. We didn't feel as though he was a connector. And it could have been we had young minds. We didn't, the way he would talk to us, and my grandmother, she ain't screaming, cursing me. She was quiet fury.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get that look. You thought, I better chill. Let me get myself together. And
Yeah.
the college rah-rah, and always, we just talked about this, playing angry. I
Yeah.
couldn't play angry, man.
Yeah.
I'd never played angry in my life. I played. See, I couldn't control it, because then I stopped thinking. I'm
Yeah.
just,
That's real. That's
I'm
real.
like, and now I'm burning out. I'm like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
I tell you, just to interrupt you for a little bit. I heard you that before I had to go take care of some business. I'm gonna tell you, I played angry. My brothers know that I did. I played angry. So when you met me a year prior, I was burnt out. I burned myself out. So when you saw me, I still could play at a higher level, but the thing about it was the spark, the energy, the reason, because I relied on the anger
mhm,
to look, listen, me during the game, I hated everybody I played against. Hated everybody I played against. Not in pickup because I was a little bit more, I had better home training. But when it was on the college court, they were my enemy. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
And when my senior year, when the little turmoil that happened with me, it made me look at what I was doing. No, I'm not going to belabor this, but it made me look at what I was doing. And my senior year, I decided, you know what? I'm going to enjoy playing this game for the first time. You know what I mean? It's for another podcast, but for the first time, I'm going to play this game for the love of this game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it was funny. I understand how you saw the game. You feel what I'm saying? So it was interesting that you saw it this way, I saw it the other way. But it was always self-preservation the whole time.
mhm,
On both sides. You know what I'm saying?
mhm, yep,
I
yep,
think I think it's an
So,
evolution.
so
I think it's an evolutionary process, man. I mean, because shit. People play angry, man, until they figure out that lack of skill set will kill you.
That's real. That's real.
So
yeah,
you got to sharpen your skills if you want to be in the game.
yeah,
well,
yeah.
Plus,
anger can
I was a
take you there.
football player too, though. But go ahead, Damon.
Let me ask you this, Bobby. Being a life coach, man, how many kids you ran into that played angry, man? And how did?
Hold on, Damon. Hold on, because I think he's almost done. Save your question.
Well, I came in
Almost.
late. So.
No. We're about the same place, but I interrupted Bobby. Go ahead and finish the progression as far as because you hit and then
Yep,
professional and
yep.
come to
So,
everything.
so, I think junior year at Pitt, I was on fire. I was playing really well, all Big East, all the stuff like that. Feeling really good about myself. Senior year, I get hurt. I sit out half the season. Because I get hurt around right before Christmas. We in Hawaii, right? We leave for Hawaii. Now I got a staph infection in my arm. They're talking about cutting my arm off when I get back to Pittsburgh. I mean, it was nuts, man. So, you in the hospital, I'm losing weight. After work and all, because I couldn't eat, couldn't do anything, and they said, they saved me just in time, man. Dr. Freddie Fu, right? Freddie Fu,
Ready, fool?
and um, I couldn't find my rhythm. Then I became angry because everything that I was dreaming about, started slipping away. So I'm with y'all brothers when you talk about playing angry. I didn't play angry then. I started playing angry once I didn't get drafted because, from going to, to be in a mock draft as a first rounder and then not getting drafted at all, that was a blow to my ego. It was something that I didn't know how to handle because everybody was now telling me no. Right? This is every team in the NBA screaming at me in complete silence. Not enough. Right. So now I'm asking myself, how do I begin again? And I think that's most of what, every athlete has to go through. How do I begin again? Because, when you're out of school, when you're in school, you got that soft pillow to land on. Every day you can go back and practice some more. But when you're trying to get paid for it, man, that's a different beast. Now I'm in the CBA. I get drafted in the CBA, right? And I'm looking at dudes that I don't play. I'm playing with guys that I've watched on television. I'm like, yo, he's good. Like Jarvis Bass Knight and, all these guys, I'm saying Kenny Battle, right? All these guys are just jumping out the gym.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, yo, these guys are good. And they are struggling just like me. And this is the CBA. So this is like a revolving door. You just fighting. And want nobody there to hold my hand. Want nobody to say, Bobby, it was going to be okay. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't going to be okay. I had to learn some lessons quickly, man. I didn't do it. Inexperience, right? What they say when you got to fight when you got to fight a monster, you better become a monster. 'Cause that's the only way you're gonna be. So I had to learn how to play angry then, right? I remember specifically my coach. He kept, you can get cut at any time. Dudes was getting cut at halftime and playing on the other team. And no, for real, that's how it was. And everybody trying to get out. Even the coaches are trying to get out. They want to get called up to the NBA. So, we're sitting there and he put me in, and I'm saying this because I was one of them. He put me in with the scrubs, right? And I'm figuring I'm a rookie. I don't know the pro game, right? And I'm like, look, man, stop putting me in with rookies and put me in with some veterans so I can make some mistakes because I knew the veterans were going to have my back.
Yeah.
And man, he did that. And, I played well. I played really well. And from there, it just took off, man. It just took off. And like I said, everybody's trying to get out of the CBA. So now I do well enough to get a job in Spain, right? France. I do well enough to get a job in France. So now I'm going to France and they cut me at Christmas. So all that money I thought I was going to make, man, they sent me home so fast at Christmas. Not my dumb ass. I bought my girl over there because I'm like, yo, we're going to make a lot of money. So she over there with me now. Now all of a sudden, man, dude, man, you talk about dejected. I was hurt.
That's an experience right there.
Man, man, they bonsoir, bonjour, and I'm like, man, au revoir. Right? It was like goodbye. I'm looking, let me tell you how bad it was. There was a guy named Adrian Caldwell, vet, good dude, played with the Houston Rockets. So he was playing back there with Dream and them. With Larry Smith, like Mr. Mean and all these guys like that, right? Adrian was on that team. And I'm in practice in France, and he come walking in the door. I'm like, yo, what you doing here, man? He was like, man, I came to replace you. I'm like, what? So, yeah, man. So now I got to play him. And, we had some interaction before, but now this was real.
Yeah.
Right? This was real, man. And he hit me with everything veteran. Yeah. So, they sent me home. I had to go back to the CBA with my tail between my legs. Right. Because, when I got the offer, I'm like, I'm out of here. I ain't never coming back here. Never. Right. Don't never say never. Right. So now I'm back there and I got to fight my way through it again. I end up doing it. Then I get a job in Spain. And from the lessons that I learned there, I had a very, very long career in Spain. So this was 12 years in Spain. Did some really nice things. They actually voted me one of the best rebounders to ever play in the country. So, I got a chance to go from the bottom team to the top team. So I'm playing with Real Madrid for 2 years. And, that's another experience because now, you on a different team, I'm no longer the man. I got to find a way to fit in because everybody's the man. Right. So just a lot of lessons, man, a lot of lessons. But I was fortunate, man. Again, at every point in my life, even though I never knew my father, I had great mentors. Men who would talk to me straight up, look, that's not how you get it done. They would challenge me, man. They would challenge my thought process every time they got a chance because they knew that I was coming. Jack used to say it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame.
That's real. That's real.
So, and I'm always in the picture. So, but there was always people there to hold me down, man, and talk to me. Nah, young buck, you can't do it that way. Even guys that I didn't think respected me, they would talk to me when they saw me flying too high.
Mm.
So again, I was fortunate.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He answered my question then that I had. So
So
I'm
and
glad.
that's the thing about it is that you talk about rebounding. But look, everybody who don't know Bobby got the rebounding shoulders. So he got the shoulders. Look, to be a rebound, because I got them too, right? But a little bit of muscle in it. But to be a rebounder, when you go up, you got to create space.
Yeah.
Grab that ball. And Bobby was always a great rebounder. Always a great rebounder. So let's just do this because, like I said, I want you to shout out your grandma because I should have did that in the first place. And then shout out your children. You know what I mean? And are you married now?
I am, man. I'm remarried, man. Oh my gosh, I got a story about that, boy. But yeah, so I'm
Oh, yeah.
remarried.
Oh, no, look. Shout them out first and then talk to us. Tell everybody.
So,
What we do is we learned this early. We want to make sure our guests
yep,
acknowledge those folks. You feel
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So,
So my grandmother, rest her soul, she passed away long ago. This is 2008, I believe, when I stopped playing. 2008. Jesus. So it's been a long time, but she still lives. She still lives through me.
yeah.
My son, right now, he graduated from Rice University.
Grandma's name. I mean, you want to give us
Madeline Martin.
Madeline Martin. Okay.
Madeline Martin, man. Madeline
Rest in
Martin.
peace. Rest in peace.
Yes, sir. Rest in peace. And rest in power, because she was a powerful woman.
Yeah,
she was no joke.
Yeah, with that 22.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
a hell of a message, wasn't it?
Dude, that was a hell of a message, man. She ain't never had to worry about me, boy. I was sneaking around. She wasn't gonna find out if I was doing anything. So, and it was hard back then because everybody in the neighborhood looking at you.
Hell
Hey, ain't you Madeline child?
yeah.
Right? So you gotta watch. You gotta watch your P's and Q's. And my son, Robert Martin Jr. He's in the Navy. The poor guy stationed in Hawaii. He's in naval intelligence. So
Mm,
he graduated from Rice University down in Texas.
that's it.
He earned a scholarship down there. Super proud of him. He graduated during COVID year, so he didn't have a chance to continue because he shut the world down.
Yeah.
But he enlisted, man. And I'm like, what? he he enlisted, man. And I was like, dude, you got 2 degrees from Rice, man. What you doing?
Yeah.
He was like, yo, I missed. What did he tell me? He missed the regiment, right? Because everything was regimented for him, and I was like, yo, well, go for it then, because
Regiment and camaraderie, man.
yes, man, that's what he was missing, man. And that's not me, right? That was him, and I was like, yo, what they say they come through us, they're not us, and he,
Ain't that?
he's doing great for himself, man, doing great for himself.
That's a hell of a damn phrase right there, man. You need to coin that, bro. Real talk.
I'm gonna tell you. Here's a fun fact.
That's meaningful. Real talk.
2011 to 12, I'm in a palestra. Robert
Philly,
Morris University is playing against University of Penn, right? And I'm sitting in the crowd and all this, and I just so happened to look down and I see Mr. Bobby Martin. I was like, holy, I'm climbing over seats and shit.
you
I'm
remember that?
on that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he introduced me to his son, which I felt
Yep.
my son was
Wow.
playing. But yeah, my son Keith was playing. But yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but when I was proud of the fact that it was good to see. Basically, what I'm saying. That's why I even brought it up. But you know, um, go ahead and finish, bro. I cut you off, but look, you got your daughter. You have your wife. The
So I got
re-
two daughters, man. Two daughters.
oh man, come on, man, shout them out.
Dude, man. So I got Amanda. Amanda is 15. She's actually at practice right now. Doing wonderfully, man. You know, she finished with a 3.8 last year. You know, her freshman year, finished with a 3.8. She couldn't play. She tore her labrum in her shoulder, so that really knocked her back some. But man, she got it in her, man. She went to camp this summer. She went to BU's camp, man. She got a scholarship offer out of that, man.
That's what's
That
up.
girl, boy, she ain't no joke. She's 6'2", and she
That's
she's
what's up.
6'2",
Yeah.
204. She coming at you. you
Oh,
can
okay.
you can stand in the way if you want to. And she's 15, and she loved the game. You know, she loves the game, man. You know, she want to sit down and watch her practices, man. You know, videos. So we sitting down watching the videos, and and I got to remember that she ain't but 15. I'm like, she better than I was at 15, so I don't need to say nothing. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good. That's
And my other daughter, Vanessa, man, who's she's about 5'10" right now, 13. Um, Reminds me of my grandmother so much, man. Reminds me of my grandmother, and she is also a wonderful student. She's starting to love the game a little bit, and I want my kids to be kids. You ain't gotta love the game right now.
yeah,
You'll figure that out later. When you do, I'll be here.
yeah.
Right? If you don't, you don't. But she plays. I'm actually coaching her seventh grade team this year, so
Okay.
which is a lot of fun. So we get a chance to spend some time together because I never coached my son. I did train him, but I wouldn't coach him. But with my daughters, like I said, no, I'm not throwing them out there for anybody else to be, spending that type of time with them. No, no, that'll be me. I don't need you to tell them nothing. I'm
Right.
gonna be, I'm gonna
So
be right there.
elaborate on that. How you feel about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Are you really about um you can't give your kids to nobody, man. We all understand. So where do you stand in that regard, man? Based on their talents and skill sets and all
So, with my son and both daughters, my son I was okay with him going away to school because I know that he can handle himself. And he was, it's not that I don't believe my daughters can, it's that as a father, I'm saying, no, my job is to protect them. Like you said,
that. Girls are
never say,
different.
yeah, it's different, man. It's different. I'll hurt somebody. Right. So I don't even want to put myself in that position because, they talk about fathers not being there so much, man. I'm blessed to be able to be here. My father wasn't around. I remember, we actually played Georgetown one time and we were in the Cap Center down in DC. And one of the ushers came in and he was like, "Yo, there's this guy out here saying he's your father." And I was like, "What?"
Oh,
And I sat there for a minute. I was like, man, I ain't going out there. Fuck that dude, man. I don't even want to see him. Then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I ain't had nothing to do with him and my mom. Right. But, I don't know what they was going through. And
yeah,
I went out there and he was gone. So, that's one of my regrets,
yeah.
Mm.
that I wasn't wise enough or I wasn't, I was too angry to do anything about it. I wasn't thinking,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
you got to blame it on youth, man. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's on me, man. It's on me. So
Well,
that's why I make sure I'm around.
no. Yeah, you could say it's on you, but really, it's your maturity and your youth, man. It's what
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
The kind of decisions we make in our, from 18 to 22. But go ahead and finish, Bob. Go
And,
ahead.
and
No.
that's if you're in that situation, I'm gonna take your word for it, man, because that's your life, bro. Your
Yeah.
Yes,
experience.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there till I can't be there.
Yes, sir.
And that's my job as a father, man. I have to. That's my obligation, and I accept it gladly.
Yeah, yeah.
So your babies, man, keep you involved, man, with what you do for a living, also, man. So how do you balance the two, man?
I hadn't thought about balancing it. I know balance is necessary, but with them, it's easy, man. I mean, because
Yeah,
we talk. We talk. Not that she ain't gonna be going through stuff. I mean, she's 15. I know some boys gonna be coming around pretty soon, and I'm gonna have to calm myself down, right? And not embarrass her, and maybe she may get embarrassed. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't tell you how I'm gonna react to that because I know, right? You sitting there like, dude, I know who you are. At that age, you ain't gonna be jumping up and down on her, man, or disrespecting her. Don't make me hurt you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
it's
So
it's kind of
You
like a.
know, Damien Ja'Cory had girl dads too. So
I
yeah,
oh,
you
got you.
really?
got it in consideration.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Yeah,
need to talk to Damien then. Yeah, I need to talk to you.
But you know what? Hey, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You come to that conclusion, but every situation is different. You know what I'm saying every situation is different, and I'm not trying to be negative in that aspect. I'm just simply saying that there's certain things that you feel about your own
Hmm.
that you might not be able to get past when somebody might have an answer for you, but in your mind, you like, I don't know if I can be that patient.
Yeah, yeah. Word. I can see that. I can see that.
I don't know. I don't know if I can be, but you have to trust them, and all that coincides with how you raise them.
Right. So yeah, I mean, you just said it all. That's exactly what I got to do, and it's a day by day process, man. I'd be crazy to sit here and think that I got every answer. I don't have most of them, man. I know what I've been through. I don't know what they're going through.
yeah.
So I
That's honest.
chill, I wait, I pay attention, and if I see a warning sign, then I'm gonna holler a little bit, put a bug in the ear, and she's gonna have to make her own decisions. I mean, I think about that all the time. I mean, if I try to regulate what she's doing, now all of a sudden I'm pushing her away even further,
Yeah,
right? She's got to see a man who's calm, who understands how to act when he's supposed to go into action when he has to, and be able to chill, when he don't have to. And that's what I'm working on right now. I'm a work in progress, man.
no doubt. I'm gonna tell you a crazy thing. I was talking to my barber last week, right? We both my sons, me and my wife, both our sons are 15 years apart, right? And I was just this is nonchalantly just chopping it up with my barber, and I said something that tripped me out. It wasn't nothing but God talking to me. I said, yeah, I raised both my sons the same way, right? But then in the same breath, I said, but my oldest son saw a different person than my youngest son 15 years later
Hmm.
because I was a different man.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was the same man. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that 15-year difference, I changed into something else. Same person, but I saw things, much clearer, basically. You know what I
You know
mean?
what? You just speaking personally. You know what tripped me out, man, is that I was the same way, but it took one of my oldest daughters to say to me, "Look, we talking about me." You know what I'm saying? And I'm working through something. So I need you to be understanding. I don't need you to be what you're standing on. I need you to be understanding.
Hmm.
You know. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. This is what it is. And I wound up, hey Bobby, I wound up in the corner by myself, man, with my two daughters, my wife, and my son was too young. But I was
Yeah.
by myself, and I was like, well, what's wrong with this picture? You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with this picture? And that required me to say, hey, dude, you don't have two sons. You have
Right.
two daughters.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to navigate not how you feel and think about the world, because as fathers, we see the world in a dangerous aspect. You know what I'm saying? But they're
Mm-hmm.
saying, even though the world is dangerous, I have to live in it, Father. And I have to, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I have to navigate my way through it. And I need you to be on that side of things. So whenever I come to you, and that's the key, them coming to you. You know what I'm saying?
You
The
have
worst thing as a father with young women is not knowing anything.
Right.
You can speculate all day. And what we do as fathers, we speculate the worst thing, worst aspects. And I came to the conclusion that, to finish my point, I came to the conclusion that the things that I was thinking was worse than what they was experiencing.
that's a good thing though, brother.
Right.
You find a
It
good
was
thing.
worse.
That's a good
And
thing.
then when I found out the truth, I was like, oh, God, I can work with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
had to get out of my own mind. I had to get out of my own thinking.
Hey, Jaquari, do you have something to offer real quick?
Well, I mean, just raising girls, man. You know, it'll definitely tell you, you know, who, you know, it'll show you who you were. It'll show you who you were, because I tried to, you know, impart like, it's not easy to talk about. It's very not easy to talk about, man. I mean, you just got to be there. You got to be there, and you have to almost increase your understanding to superhuman heights or whatever. You know, you got to listen to, you got to have difficult conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You got to initiate difficult conversations, because in doing so, you know, she will feel more comfortable coming to you, you know, with
Okay.
things. But you got to understand, if she don't come to you, you know, for a specific thing, there's a reason. There's a reason, and if you try to browbeat that reason out of her, it's going to create distance.
But hey, bro, you know what they call that? Premeditated.
He said premeditated.
Yeah.
He got a little chuckle out of
Premeditated.
that.
I gotta keep my daddy out of jail. Let me.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, as Bobby said, man, they come from us. You know, what was it? Could they come through us, not from us?
that's real.
Right.
They're not us. You know, we want to give them an opportunity to develop, you know, a positive, rational personality, and they can't do
Yeah.
that when they're coddled by their fathers.
Right.
But that's your job though, isn't it? I don't have any daughters, but isn't that your job? But I mean, to a point where
Not to
you
coddle.
provide. I'm talking about just providing safety, a feeling of safety and comfort, right?
I want to know what Bobby think about that. I mean, what's your
But yeah, go ahead and answer
premise?
that. Go ahead and answer that. But Bob, we need to bring it on home because I think you're missing one person, and then we're gonna get into the meat of things.
Okay.
Oh, you don't even know who you're missing, huh? That's crazy.
Come on, bro.
Dude,
We
I
ain't trying to
mean,
put you in trouble, man. Wait,
Come on, bro.
come on, dog. Didn't you just say you married?
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right, well, you got to shout him out. Shout out if you
So,
want to. If you
okay.
want
No. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, the second time around, I ended up marrying an athlete. First time around, I didn't marry an athlete. So,
so
second
you,
time around, I married an athlete. So she understands. My wife Annie understands a lot more. Anna Maria is her name. Anna Maria.
okay.
So
Shout out.
yeah, she's actually the better athlete, honestly, man. When I see my daughter, I see her because she played professional handball in Europe.
Okay.
And dude, I told her, you know, it's like the small ball, you know, where you throw and it looked like water polo. But I was like, if you ever throw a rock at me, I'm leaving. Right? I mean, she got that type of arm too. Yo, no joke, man.
Wow.
No joke. Yeah, man.
Need to
Yeah, man.
limit the reasons, bro.
Exactly. I try not to give her none, man. Try not to give her
Hey,
none.
There you
y'all get into the scrimmage. You say, Put that down now.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. This ain't no conversation no more. You put it down.
Yeah,
No, but she I'm gonna say she allows me to be me.
I got
She allows me to get through whatever I got to get through and come back around. You
that's
know what I'm
rare,
saying?
brother. That's
Yeah.
rare. No matter how much
That's
they love you, that's rare.
yes,
Yeah.
it is, man. It is, and she keep it real with our kids too. She keep it real, man. She ain't no joke. I mean, they got to come to me to try to calm things down a little bit. And I'm like, see, you know, I'm your last line of defense, right? So
No
y'all
doubt.
better chill,
But that's what you
So
that's what you do in a house full of women, though, bro. You
yeah,
meet
yeah, it really
you,
is.
you mediate.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Well
yeah,
said.
look, I don't envy y'all at all, man. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish it. So once you're done, Bob, just go into what you're doing now and why did you go into what you're doing now?
Okay, so I said a little bit back that at every point in my life, I've had mentors who have been able to guide me. All right. I like to say that they never told me what to see. They just showed me where to look. And I think that's the job of a mentor, right? Because you got to let the kids figure out for themselves. And I was failing as a professional, failing. And when you put your whole life into it, man, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting that chance.
Yeah,
And when he helped me, I would say the biggest thing he did was he helped me look in the mirror. It wasn't about anybody else. It was about me. It was about me delving into those parts of myself that I didn't like, those parts of myself that weren't conducive to me being successful.
yeah,
Right. So now we sitting, and while he was wonderful trainer, his name is Wayne Albert, Jewish guy, man, short, bald Jewish guy, man. Man, I'm telling you, you would never think he looked like Peter Vesey,
okay,
right? And he was always trying to talk to me when I was in the pro camps and stuff like that. You in Salt Lake City and all these other places, playing in the NBA Summer League. And I just couldn't get over the hump. And he was trying to talk to me for 2 years, man. And I was like, nah, this guy don't know nothing about this. So I'm judging a book by the cover. Man, I'm in Charlotte and in vet camp. And it come down to two people, me and LaRon Ellis, who went to Syracuse.
yeah,
And I'm killing the whole camp. And I'm like, yo, I'm with Lonzo, because I know Lonzo and, LJ, we played the McDonald's game together, right? I got Dale Curry on my side. And man, the last day of practice, LeBron was kicking my ass. I couldn't figure it out.
mhm,
I'm like, what is he doing? Yo, what is he doing? Nah, man, he ain't gonna make that. Oh, damn, he hit it. So now he's killing me. And I'm looking bad. So needless to say, after practice, we're back in the hotel and I'm getting on the elevator and LaRon opens up and LaRon is with Wayne. And I said, ain't this a bitch? Oh, I gotta have that. So I'm talking to LaRon about him and LaRon was like, yo, he the real deal. He the real deal, man. And it's the Stevie Thompson. I mean, all these guys, Wayne's working with these guys. And he's like, yo, I'm in Boston, which is why I'm in Boston right now. This just became home because in the off seasons, I would come here to train.
gotcha.
And honestly, man, from a business standpoint, um, it was a business relationship. It was transactional. You help me get better. You help me get better. I'll pay you. Right. So now I'm getting the jobs because I'm playing better. But the reason I'm playing better is because I'm starting to understand myself more. Yeah, I was stronger. I was adding to my skill set and stuff like that. But now my mind started thinking the game, man. So now teams in Spain are saying, these are teams where I got first round picks coming in. They cutting first round picks and bringing me in,
Yeah,
right? And I'm saying it. I'm saying that because these guys were better than I was. What I was the right fit,
mhm,
right? I'm the right person. I got the right skill set, and I got the right demeanor for what they need. right? This was you. You have to fill a role. I didn't have to be the star, right? And most of the guys, they go over there, they think, you think you guys give to the world. You're an American, right? American basketball, we got it covered. Man, these dudes, I'm over there with Paul Gasol and Mark Gasol and all these guys, man. And I've played with every member of their this is a couple of years ago, that really good national team they had, the one that took the USA down to the wire. Played with every single one of them cats, and they were the stars of the team, right? I'm a piece, right? And the teams would sign me, and you know what they saw? The best compliment I ever got as a player is that you're consistent. They was like, we know we getting double doubles all the time. You go to one team, you were there for multiple years. You ain't flying around and jumping from team to team. Teams want to keep you. That was the best compliment I ever got as a player. But that's not the one I wanted. I wanted to be the guy. B got game. Blah 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 blah. But I knew deep down, I was like, look, this guy's better than me. Way better, much more talented. So then I had to, come to that conclusion. It's all right not to be the best. What I got to do is bring out the best in myself. Stop competing against these dudes. What you got in you, right? And honestly, that's what's led me to today. You have a long career, and I watch the kids, man, and they've got
You
so
did 20
many.
years. Woo.
Yeah, almost, yeah, man, yeah. But I had great trainers. They kept me healthy, right? They had me change my diet, man. I'm out there looking like a brick shit house, right? I'm not hurt, I mean, and longevity. There was longevity, man. It is some great stuff, man. I had a chance to play for Team USA, got a gold medal out of that, man. And I'm the nobody on the team, right? These guys, it's like, we want you.
Yeah.
So you learn how to be part of a team, right? I think that was the best thing that I ever could have done, for myself, was say yes to Wayne. Because when I said yes to him, I had to say no to a lot of other stuff. A lot of other stuff. I couldn't be out there drinking, right? I couldn't be out there smoking. I couldn't be doing none of that, man. Not that I was doing a lot of it anyway,
Yeah, I was
right?
going to say, I know
Nah,
you. Yeah.
nah. But when you're unhappy, that's what it leads to. You start doing shit that just trying to kill the pain.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that was me. I was trying to find a way to kill that pain, that disappointment from not being drafted. It stayed with me a long time, man. And Wayne kept telling me, "Yo, you got to forgive yourself. This is not about this isn't about you not having accomplished something. You've already accomplished. What you need to do is to keep growing."
Yeah.
This is what he was telling me. So it was our personal conversations that got me over that hump, right? The basketball is super important, but the personal stuff, man, dude, we'll sit on the phone and talk for hours, man. Hours, just about life,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because this is he's a short ball, like I said, Jewish guy who's fighting in a world full of brothers, right? Ain't nobody looking at you like that, man, right? He trying to talk to people, they look at him like he's small, right? So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. So I understood. I understand now how he felt. I didn't understand it then, but I do understand it now.
Yeah.
Right now that I'm older, man. Like I said, yeah. Hopefully, as you get older, you get wise. Because it ain't always that way. I see a lot of stupid old people. I'm saying older, man. Everybody's not a what's the word for it? An elder, right? You don't have a lot of wise elders, man. You don't. And that's my transition now. I want to become, and always becoming, always a student, a wise elder, right? So I can share, what I've been through, especially with these kids now with all this NIL stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Right.
that was kind of what I was alluding to, because I'm gonna tell you, you and I, we spoke pre-pandemic. Just
Hmm.
shooting it and just you telling me about what you were doing with
Hmm.
high school, college, and professional guys, what you were doing,
Hmm.
and you gave me an idea. And now that the NIL is here, it seems like what you do for a living. So talk about how you transition to that and what you do. Because what you do for a living fits this perfectly because it's the mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I do right now, I'm trying to figure out my title because I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. And nothing wrong with coaching, but what I do with these kids is a lot more than coach them. I have to mentor them. I'm proud that they come to me. Okay. And basketball is just a carrot, right? It's just to get them in the gym because they want to get better. I mean, kids are funny. They'll talk a lot of stuff and I'll be like, Google me. Then they come back, they got a little bit more respect, blah, blah, blah. And the parents, I think I do more for the parents than I do for the kid because what I do is I relay the message that the parents can't always give,
Yeah.
right?
That
And
makes
I
sense.
love, huh?
I said that makes
So
sense.
what? Yeah, and I love that. I absolutely love that, man, because like basketball, it gives me a chance to express myself. It gives me a chance to continue to figure out and hone my own ideas, right? To change them when I need to tweak them, to figure out different ways to, like I said earlier, how to connect with the kid, not just communicate, because we can all talk at them, right? But with the NIL right now, I think the biggest thing is, the kids that come to me, I'm more proud of the kids who are just trying to feel good about themselves on the court than the pros that I've dealt with, right? I deal with more of those kids who just want to feel like they're part of the group, right? When the parents are, they send me these beautiful emails, man, and texts, and I let my wife read them. She started crying and she's like, don't show me no more of these. I don't want to see these no more because the parents are so, they're so happy to see their children growing. So I get to plant seeds, man. I get to plant seeds and watch these kids grow. So I've got a couple things going on. I've got my podcast. It's called Lost in Translation. And it's basically, it's with my buddy Sam, and we talk about life. We talk about basically my idea is that we're always given definitions, and what we have to figure out is meaning, right? Because that's
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
When we hear and we hear gems like that, we ask the person to repeat it. Please repeat that for us, please.
I said that we're given definitions, and our job is to figure out meaning.
Yeah, that was a beautiful thing, man. That's why I just had to isolate that, had to have you repeat that. But go ahead, Bobby. We with you.
No, that's what it is, man. I mean, so even with the NIL right now, I was telling, I actually wrote an article about it on LinkedIn because it was on my mind. I was like, don't start clutching your pearls now. Everybody's saying, oh, the game is going away. The game's getting worse, and the kids. I'm like, no, Frankenstein was the doctor, not the monster,
That's real.
right? So, so they want to complain about it right now. And I know our kids don't think about it this way, but as adults, we see jobs being taken away all the time, right? You got AI, you got it building, people ain't got no jobs no more, people trying to find a way how to make it. And now you got kids who are in a sport that makes a shit ton of money,
Yeah,
right? It's not
Right.
it's not new, it's just been revealed.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always been there, but
Oh,
now there's somebody to snatch the covers off. Right now they go, oh, wait a minute, no, 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 no. What about the integrity of the game? Kiss my ass. Don't talk to me
So
about integrity.
how do you combat that though, Bobby?
Okay, so
Because
great
money is
question.
money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know they should make the money. I'm all for them making the money.
me
What
too.
I'm
Right.
saying is you can't put that back in a bottle, right? We know the game was always transactional. We're athletes. So the only thing NIL did was move the transaction back from the front page, right? It made the economy viable. Everybody know that. So I'm not gonna complain about it. I wish we had it. I mean,
Yeah,
I wish.
But we had integrity though.
no, but
But the
it
kid,
has nothing to do
okay,
with integrity, man. Not at
No,
You
all.
don't think so?
I'm gonna say, okay, so let me say this. I don't think it's not integrity. It's we've given them a checkbook before we've given them a good foundation. That's the issue. They need a better foundation. It's not that they don't have integrity. Most of the kids are good kids. But when you got, and I'm saying this because I deal with a lot of them, when you got fucked up parents, if you ain't teaching your kid, because the school ain't there to teach them the right thing. The school is there to have them continue to want to work for somebody else. Now you've got these kids trying to be entrepreneurs. You got them trying to be a student. You got them trying to be an athlete. So those are three things that you're asking a 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kid who has no idea who they're going to become yet. All those things are being thrown upon them because we're not preparing them. How do you do it? You prepare them before that. Now, I'm going to say everybody ain't going to make it. That's just the way it is. Everybody ain't gonna make it. You got some hard head cats out there that just ain't gonna make it.
Obvious.
So,
Obvious.
yep. But the people who have the patience to sit with these kids and talk to them, even when they don't feel as though they're listening, they're the ones that are gonna make the difference. Those are the people that I fuck with.
Yeah.
Where you got the patience to sit there with these kids. They're not gonna understand. I wouldn't have understood. I was lucky. My grandmother, dude. All right,
It
I'm
goes back
going
to
back
your
to her.
grandmother, don't it? It all
Man,
goes back to
man,
your grandmother, don't it?
dude, it's
Always
that
goes
wisdom,
back.
man.
Go ahead, man. Cook, man.
They,
Go ahead and cook.
they used to send me, so I used to get Nikes and all that stuff sent to the house, right? Because you're on the stage, national stage. Man, every box that came to the house, she would get her marker right, return to sender. She said, if you let them buy you now, they're gonna buy you forever.
Wow.
True,
Wow.
true, true.
Hey, and
Man,
did she stand on there with that 22?
hey, hey, her hand wasn't far away from it. I know that. I know that, man.
That's a
That's
hard. That's a
real,
hard.
man.
That's
That's
a hard
real.
Yeah,
lesson.
but
That's a hard
that's who
lesson
she
for a kid to
was,
learn. That's a hard lesson
huh?
for. That's a hard lesson for a kid to learn, though, man.
I know.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
As kids, we're transactional and we're selfish. This is how we are, man. But that's getting to go forward and learning and
Yeah,
get things going on.
yeah,
But that's the
yeah.
world. That's the world that we are introduced to. Everything's transaction.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course,
Mm-hmm.
of
Okay,
course,
but
of course.
Let me,
but in our personal relationship, is it transactional or is it? Hey, man, this is how it is, and you have to stand on this to have integrity.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree. If
but hold on for 1 second, Bob. You had
yeah, go
something
ahead.
to say, uh, Jaquar?
I was gonna ask you, man. I mean, because I'm working. Having experience working with young people, man. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you had to trick a young person into realizing uh, just a little bit of success or potential?
Always. That's constant. That is constant. I've got to. What I say? You got to meet them where they are.
Gotcha.
Right? So, you're always trying to find a way to be a little bit more creative. We talk about things. I was just telling the kid the other. I had people in my life who were transformational, right? And we're saying everything right now is transactional. But if you're lucky enough to find people that are transformational, you got half the battle made. And that's what I'm trying to do now is be that transformational person for the kid. So when the time comes, they may not be all the way ready, but they're thinking about it because it'll be somebody else's job at the next point, right? Or they may decide to call me back. Like the kids that go to college now, they still call me. Yo, what you think about this? What you think about this?
Sure.
I'm like, all right, well, here are your options. You make the choice, right? And I may frame the options in a certain way, but
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
because
It's
I
about
mean,
planting seeds to be sown. But go ahead.
yeah,
because I mean, just like I said, through experience, man. If you can give a kid the exact answer, the exact formula, and he won't listen. He won't listen.
I
But
won't give them the formula. I won't
yeah,
do it.
but
I,
sometimes you
I
got
will not do it.
yeah, sometimes you got to massage it in.
Yes. Yes. Let them think they get it on their own, just like my wife do with me. She made me think I came up to the conclusion on my own. Right. Well, yeah, that's a good idea I just had, right?
Caught me off guard that time, man. Caught me
No
off
doubt.
guard that
No
time.
doubt. No
Because that's
doubt.
my life.
Hey, look.
Fuck it.
Damn.
Once they know you got that long relationship, they know how to
Yeah.
push that button, pull that
Yeah.
lever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I think the big thing with that is the NIL didn't change the game; it just changed the stakes, right? So when the stakes change, you got to have a better operating system, right? They say so. I made this thing called Sovereign Athlete DNA, right? And because I told you I was a nerd, so with DNA you got A's, C's, T's, and G's,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay, well, if DNA can be programmed, like it can be reprogrammed because you got all that, epigenetic stuff right now that medicines are all into. So they're actually trying to change the way we look at things. It's my opinion, right? So I'm like, okay, well, reprogram yourself. You got A for awareness, right? So that awareness isn't just what's going on around you. It's going on it's what's going on in the space that you occupy, and it's what's going on in the space within you. You got to deal with them three things at one time, and kids can't do it. Adults have a hard time doing that, right?
True.
So you got awareness, you got clarity, right? When you got clarity, I mean, there is no other choice because I'm clear. I ain't got to make a choice. I'm good, right? I know what I'm doing here, right? So you just go for it. You got tenacity where you got to keep after it. That's what we were raised with. That tenacity. Now you keep
Yeah.
going, man. You keep going. You keep going. You begin again, and all that stuff equals growth. So I took that and just said ACTG, and put that together, and that's the operating system that I talk to the kids about. Now we get into it a little bit deeper, but it gives them something simple to focus their minds on. Right? You don't give them 50 million things and they don't get anything. So when I go to schools and I talk to these kids, and they always have questions, right? Because it gets them to stop being distracted from what's important, and that's their growth. That's what's more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Because they got distractions all over the place. They got them electronic leashes, right? I'm looking at my phone all the time. They looking at their phones. Ain't nobody talking. You know how we do.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to pull myself back from that. So I'm trying to talk to my daughters. She's looking on the phone. I'm like, girl, if you don't hang that phone up,
Yeah.
you know. So it's something we deal with every day.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing about it. Around our age and generations, the thing about the phones is we lived so it doesn't captivate us. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's more of entertainment than anything. But the younger folks, it affects their lives. It affects the decisions of what they do because
Right.
it's another form of is modern day peer pressure. Is what it is, and that's not a critique of it. It's just the simple fact that people make money off of it, which is overblown, but it's real though. You make money off social media, right?
Mhm.
But the people that we look at, like our children look at the most, are the ones who cosmetically gain the most. Like, I'm popular, so look at me. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
like I said, it's not a critique. It has nothing to do with it. It's the simple fact that we are able to look at our phones and be entertained by it. The younger the persons are, the young folks are, it has more of an effect on them. I'll give you a little short thing. This is maybe 2011, maybe. I was talking to my son and his friends, right? And we're sitting there talking, and I said to him, I said, you guys are part of the model nation. So what do you mean the model nation? I said, first and foremost, this is when Instagram was, hey, you push up on a girl and like, yo, let me get your Insta. So
Yeah.
you actually talking to the female, right?
Yeah.
and can get her number. But no, let me get your Instagram so I can send you my stuff so you can look at my profile where you see me in a good light constantly. You feel what I'm saying? And I said, what that does is it takes away the personal conversation. So you really like a girl and y'all might be destined to be with each other. But if you only talk on social media, you never really get to know each other. I think that is the whole human experience, period now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I know how to, okay, this is hypothetical. If I was single, I know how to approach a young lady and talk to her and have a long conversation as long as she's willing to have this conversation, right? I've seen young bulls, right? Be like, yo, what's up, baby? Yeah, initial attraction, right? Let me get your Instagram, right? And that was the indication she liked you because she gave you the Instagram, which everybody and their mother can see. You know what I'm saying? So how is that personal? It's not personal. We're dealing with, this what was it? We're
Well,
dealing with
they get to
superficial, basically.
they get to live in a world of virtual reality,
Yeah.
right? Where they can go get lost in a world where they ain't got no responsibilities. You can just look in the phone and be entertained in the way we grew up too. I was thinking about this, man. I was telling my son one time, I was like, you know what I used to do for fun, man? I used to go get some stick. Me and my cousin used to have, if it rained and the water was going down the side of the block, you get two sticks and you have stick races.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Right? Those
That's
are the things
crazy.
you did, man. I mean, it was what it was. You didn't have if you wanted to dream, man, you went outside, you talking about, oh, yo, I'm Willie Mays or I'm Ali or something like that.
Right.
It was, you were using your imagination, and now everything is just
Yes.
given to them, right? It's produced for them. They don't get a chance to develop their brains, man. And
Got no
it's a
experience.
disservice to them.
Oh,
You see these people, man, they trying to make all this daggone AI, man.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's wrong. What I'm saying is you can't live like that. They trying to make an experience that they don't even have. How do you do
I
that?
can say I can say it's wrong. I can say it's wrong. This what you just spoke to, Bob. Listen, man, my uncle took me down to the river, where we was growing up at. And he said, man, walking to the middle of the river and just be silent. And I saw the whole world with the current. That current took me somewhere I've never been before,
Hmm.
just through my imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy about it is that my imagination was what it was, what I dreamed it to be or whatever. But just standing in that water and the current, I knew I was going somewhere and did not know. But I had to come to an understanding that, man, life moves.
Yeah,
It
look,
moves.
man, that's the funny thing. What he just said, standing in the middle of that river in that current, you feel as though you going forward and
You're
things
going somewhere.
are fast. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what's sad? The kids don't even know how to skip rocks no more, man.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sorry. I cut you
Same
off.
uncle taught me how to skip rocks too.
I cut you off, Bobby. Please,
No, good.
I want to do you justice. Tell us if you have a website to go to finish
I
that
do.
or what
Yeah.
you do, and let's put it. And I want you to send it to me because what I'll do every episode, I'm gonna put it up on the screen so folks can see it. But just let
Okay.
me know exactly what you're doing.
All
This
right.
tie everything.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing right now, I'm rebranding. It used to be the B&B training, and it was all basketball. But my calling is I want to speak. I want to get out there. I'm getting around to the schools right now. I'm talking to these kids. I'm giving them, some visual stimulation. I'm making my website now. It's called Bobby Martin Speaks. I was going through this. I was going through it, man, trying to figure out what am I going to call it? What am I going to call it? And I heard my grandmother, she said, boy, you got a name. You're going to call it, this is what you're going to do. You're going to call it Bobby Boy. So I'm like, all right, this is it. And so it's going to be that. And the operating system is going to be just what we talked about, for the athletes, the ACTs and Gs, right? So I got a nice little, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to
Okay,
you.
good.
And the second part is I'm making my daughter's AAU team, and that's going to be called Circle Point. Okay, because they need to be the dot in their circles. They need to be the center of their own attention, right? So, shout out to the Masons. You get that, the dot in the middle of the circle, right?
Gotcha.
So
You get
that's
deep.
what. Well, I mean, but dude, is there any other way to be?
That's real.
We gotta find a way to get through we gotta find those of us that can. We gotta do it because ain't nobody else gonna do it.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna have me sit here and be quiet. Not going to do it, man, because there's too many people. We know we need this. We know we need it, but it's hard to get, man, because we're preoccupied. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be my attempt, right? And it's going to be a strong attempt, right? Strong perspective, strong attempt. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're going to do, right? So I'm gonna make sure I send that to you, man, and that's what I do now. This is everything to me. And again, basketball is just it's the carrot. Through this game, I get to express myself, the better self, the more mature self, right? So it's a process. I'm evolving with the game, right?
That's
The
real.
game, like what? I was just talking to somebody, man, and they were like, "Oh, the game has changed." I'm like, "No, it hasn't. The game ain't changed. You still got to rebound. You still got to shoot the ball. You still got to run. You got to do all these daggone things. Those
Do that.
things have not changed. The way you're looking at it has changed. Because if you don't do that, you ain't playing. It's
Yeah.
that simple.
You can't get
It's
the
that
ball.
simple.
You can't be on the court, man. It's just what
Nope.
it is.
You ain't gonna be there, man. The only God you're gonna pray to out there is the God of production. That's it. The only one to answer prayers.
That's
Right?
it. That's it. I mean, look. I think and I'm sure Ja'Cory and Damon, if you got questions, and so Bobby is going to send me the information, and like I said, we're going to have it up on the screen for you guys, especially in the Boston area. If you want to deal with it or you want to communicate with Bobby to really and truly help your child or help yourself on the right path. You know what I mean? We're going to be a conduit, one of the conduits for Bobby. You know what I mean? Because look, like I said, I picked up on his energy from the giddy up. You know what I'm saying? Him, Darrell, Jason. You know what I mean? That like Brian. Look, even Sean. Famous Sean Miller. You know what I'm saying? And good people, man. See that's the thing about it. I mentioned it because they're good people. But no, but we're not done,
Do
Bob. Because what I got a couple questions, and there's really and truly this nonchalantly about it.
you really?
Albert, your man Albert, Bob. He says something
Albert
like,
Ellis. Albert Ellis.
"Yes, sir. Yes,
My
sir.
man, Albert.
Really,
Yeah,
really quickly, Bobby. I wanted to ask you, man. In all your engagements and everything, do you ever discuss financial literacy or any other form of education with the young folks?
So I'm gonna say I stay in my lane. There are so many brilliant people out there that can explain it better than me. I stick with my gift. What I do is um, if there's someone who wants to do it, then I'll put them on. Look, you go and talk about this. You may tell me something, but I don't, yeah, I don't even mess around like that. I'm not shooting threes. I'm in the trenches, right? I gotta be down here fighting. You go out there and you do that so we can build together. So
yeah,
I do put people like Jason's doing something like that right now, right? He's he's on Instagram and talking to kids about financial literacy and getting um, what do we call it? Real estate, right? He's doing all these things, and I'm like, yo, you go for it, man,
yeah."
right? So no, I don't.
Okay, okay. So I have a question, real quick.
Yep.
I'm the old head, but you guys are older Bob, what's the difference between the youngins as you approach your 40s? No, 30s. That's a good joint. Your 30s and the difference of the youngins now. Is there a difference as far as the mentality and how they see the game of basketball? You know what I'm saying? The game of life, as far as work ethic, the whole nutshell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to ask you that.
So I think that the difference would be that now they have people that can figure it out for them. You've got your workout guys. For us, it was a little bit different. It was a lot different. You in the gym and you may not have nobody rebounding for you. So now you got to follow your own mistakes, right? Or you in the gym, it could be, now you got air conditioned gyms, right? We ain't had no air conditioned gyms. You sweating on the floor, you slipping, sliding, doing everything else, right? Or you outside,
Yeah,
right? If you ain't got to play outside, how you understand how to play? You got to account for the wind. You got to account for, right? You wearing Chuck T's. I say that a lot. I think it helped us because you're out there, you're playing on asphalt,
yeah,
right? You're playing on that blacktop. So your body is getting accustomed to getting beat up a little bit. You're breaking down your muscles, your tendons are getting stronger because you got to keep fighting, right? And I think that's what I'm saying it was the younger generation. It wasn't the 30-year-old me that was benefiting from that. It was the 17-year-old me was actually teaching the 30-year-old me,
yeah.
right? Because at 17, I got a different mindset. I'm just going for it. I'm fighting, I'm fighting, I'm fighting,
Yep.
right? And you love it. It's the journey that you love. Now the journey's been cut short for them, right? Because they're getting it. I mean, again, without building that fundamental character, you're giving them the paycheck first. Get the pay. I'm not saying don't get it. Go. You deserve every bit of it,
Yeah.
every bit of it, because you can imagine how much the sponsors are getting. Right? If
Oh
the
yeah.
kids is getting that type of money, and the thing is, everybody don't get that money. That's what these kids don't understand. So if you ain't the best of the best, you ain't getting that money. They selling you a dream,
Yeah.
right? They selling you a dream. So if we're not telling them that it's okay not to be, look, you ain't gonna be the best all the time. We were
Bob, let me
told
ask
that.
you, let me
Yeah,
ask you
good.
this question, man. Is it okay to let those kids who went through what you just described, that they disposable?
Is it what?
Disposable. You know what I'm saying?
Are
Were
are
those
they
people disposable?
You
are
You
they
said
know what I'm saying?
disposable?
you said is it okay to let them know
I
that?
played on asphalt. I
Okay.
played on a rubber floor.
Yep.
I played through certain things. You talking
Yep.
about what is the pros going through? We're going to hold our games, man, just for whatever, right?
Hmm.
That wasn't our experience. We had to play on rubber floors. We had to play on asphalt. We had to play on all that shit,
Hmm.
and that limited our experience.
Right.
Limited. You know
So
what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, our experiences shape us, right? This is their experience. How do we find a way to share that with them?
Right.
You
So how do
know,
you convince these young people, man? They say that you have to have an understanding not to play on rubber floors, asphalt, and all that stuff.
okay.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
the conditions have changed, but the prerequisite of what you got to do has not. So you still got to play hard. If you ain't
Yes,
playing
sir.
hard, you ain't gonna play, right?
Yes,
You can have a better car, but if you don't know how to drive, I mean, you right, car ain't gonna do you no good.
Yeah.
So now you continue to challenge them on their mindsets because that's what's gonna keep them going anyway.
You
I
know,
don't.
okay, so
There's no
elaborate on
easy
that
way.
for a minute.
I agree with that.
What mindset are you trying to convince them of as it pertains to avoidance? You know what I'm saying? Don't play on the surface and be about this. You know what I'm saying,
So
because
so
you
so so
So
that
I'm a,
hold up, Bob. So I don't know if y'all both on the same page. Now you're talking about the conditions and the different places that you play, Damon, right?
I'm talking about if you look at what if you look at what causes a person to, in terms of their contract and all that stuff, have injuries and all that stuff, right? What conditions are they playing under?
So, I mean, from what I've seen, I've got a degree in exercise science. So from what I've seen is that you can get hurt anywhere, man. You know, I think the conditions. So it's both physical and mental, right? We had learned to play in different conditions. That's all we knew. That's all that was available, right? So we built ourselves under that. That's like I was trying to explain to my daughter the other day, and it's the best way I can do it. We You can get on your phone and you can look at the GPS, right? The GPS will give you turn by turn directions, right? Oh man, this is what you got to do. But back in the day, it was a road map, right? You pulling out the map, you open it up, right? You trying to figure out which way you got to go, and that still don't tell you. That still don't tell you everything, because now once you start driving, dude, you got potholes. Your tire may go out, right? The weather may be bad. You got a detour over here that map ain't told you about. So the terrain is different. What we
Yeah.
got to do is continue to prepare them for the terrain, right? My grandma, see, I'm going back to my grandmother again. She said, "Boy, I can't prepare the road for you, so I'm gonna prepare you for the road."
That's good.
Right? That's what we got to do. It's different for them. A lot of ways it's better for them. I mean, that's fine. But you got to learn how to deal with that. You got to work with that. Don't throw it away.
It's inevitable.
What
Yeah.
is it called? MapQuest? Go ahead, Joel.
Not a question.
Yeah.
How, how difficult is it for you to keep up with the evolution of the game? Because I imagine that the way that game is played today is vastly different from the way you grew up playing the game.
So I've learned over the years. I thought the game was changing.
Because you got 20 years overseas, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
that's solidified. That's what it
Yo,
is.
and they were showing me how the game was changing, right? There was a lot more movement, okay? But the bigs still had to rebound. I got paid to rebound, man, right? They got dudes just going to shoot threes. I think the game is actually going to get better for the bigs because if you notice, don't nobody post up no more.
Yeah.
I say it's
Don't
been a
nobody
long
post up no more.
time, man. It's been a long time, Jay.
The first dude that does and got a game down there. Man, if you get another Olajuwon down there, if Giannis ever decides to go down there and just camp out, the game going to change again. Don't let it be another Shaq coming along who don't want to shoot threes.
Yeah.
Now the whole thing going to change again. You're going to have to go back and get some guys that's ready to fight.
I love the entertainment of basketball. I've always, when it comes to entertainment wise, I've evolved. But when it comes to just the student of the game, I miss. Like, okay, being an old head, people was locked into positions. One
Mm-hmm.
until I saw Magic and other men doing their things in different heights and all that, I was locked into that traditional thing. But
Mm-hmm.
then I saw it evolve because see, I taught myself how to dribble, how to pass, how to do everything because I was a rebounder and defensive guy, right?
Right. Right.
But watching the people that I looked up to that was my height do different things, in college I incorporated that into my game where I want to feel comfortable with doing this because it'll help me win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying that to say this, right? I want to answer the question too. I think the basketball has not changed, but the evolution of it because when the Europeans came over and who can shoot threes and didn't want to go inside, even though they were taught how, Bobby, they were taught how to play inside. But if they had to touch from outside, what was they going to do? They migrated to the outside. You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
Damon.
saying as it pertains to a brother who played 20 years overseas, who knows that as it pertains to how we played the game here, they supersede us now
Yeah.
because
they taught how to play, right?
for
James?
whatever reason that Bobby wanted to explain to us, he could tell us how that's the case. But as a
So in
big man,
yeah. So
go
in
ahead.
Europe, it's different. It's they bigs play big, but what they do is they practice on the outside too. So you gotta get around the whole floor. Like when I got over there, Sabonis was still there. Arvydas Sabonis, not his son. Arvydas Sabonis,
Yeah,
the
Right.
bad
Big
dude,
man.
right? So he was over there, man, and that was like the first 7-footer I saw, hit threes consistently, right? And get down there and give you 20 points and 15 rebounds,
yeah.
right? He'd just be trailing and shooting his threes, stuff like that, man. I remember the first time I played him. He was playing for the top team in Spain, of course. He grabbed the rebound, man, gave a behind the back skip pass all the way down the floor to a guy on a break, man. He just grabbed the rebound, boom, threw it behind his back, dart right down to the guy. And this was right in my face. I was like, yo, this I ain't got nothing to do with this cat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's even like when I got to Pitt, man. I'm walking in the gym, you there. I can't fight you. I'm 205. No, wait a minute. I'm 197. I'm 197. Soaking wet, walking in there, right? You in there, Jerome in there, Chip Watkins was in there. All these cats was playing. See, Charlie. Oh my gosh, man! I ain't never seen a dude that could do what he could do with the basketball.
Oh yeah.
Man, I understood why they call him Mr. Fluid,
Yeah.
right? So now you trying to figure out, okay, where do I fit in? The world a lot bigger than what I thought it was. Right? Just everybody got a McDonald's pedigree behind them, right? Jerome got one.
Yeah.
Meech is Mr. Michigan.
Yeah.
Charlie, Mr. Everything. Right? So I'm like, yo, you playing against Walter Berry, Pat Ewing, all these guys. I'm like, man, I can't do nothing with these cats. So you try to figure it out,
Yeah.
right? You make mistakes, right? And you grow. That's it. And you get humble. Check your ego at the door and go learn, man. So I think in Europe the coaches have a lot more power, right? The coaches the players aren't as they aren't as demanding. They just got to go and play,
Got it.
right? So I think that's a big part of it too. And they in there twice a
Like my
day,
man,
man, 2 3 hours at a time.
Oh yeah.
like my man who coached LeBron in Cleveland. He was from overseas.
Okay,
LeBron
okay,
got him
yep,
fired and shit.
What was
yep.
it? Black.
David Blatt, yeah, David Blatt, yes sir, yes sir, yeah. He was coaching Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you ever had to deal with the I'm the man syndrome? And if you did, how did you address
Have I dealt with it personally? You mean have I talked to somebody about it? What?
it? Like in the capacity of what you do now. Have you ever had that challenging ego?
Yeah. I mean, I think all the kids are like that. Everybody is the man from where they come from, right? And you accept it. I mean, I don't think that I want them to embrace that because it helps me teach them later on. Yeah, you are. You know what? That was great. I love what you're doing out there. Now you might want to consider this. You see that right there, dude. You ain't go after that. The man goes after that. The man goes to get that one,
Yeah.
right? Build yourself up because they're gonna tear you down. Believe that, right? So build yourself up, and you got to go for it. And it's okay if you fall short. That's what I spend most of my time telling the kids because you're in the gym with them, so much, and they fail when they're not good at things, and they just melt. These kids today, that's one of the differences, man. They just melt. Wow, they can't make a mistake, right? Hold, Amanda, come here, come here. Just say hello. I got my peoples on here. This is my daughter, Amanda. This is my 15-year-old right here, man.
Hello, how
Hi.
you
How you
doing?
doing?
Good
Hi,
luck.
I'm good. How are you?
All
Good,
right. All
good.
right.
Doing good.
Hey, look,
Doing
good
great.
luck, man. Good luck on that floor.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Good
Thank
luck to the
you.
season and
I
everything.
heard
Yeah.
a lot about you. Do that deal.
Okay, all right, get out. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my baby, man. That's one of them. That's one of them. So she just got home from practice.
Okay.
So
Hey, listen. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit. Then we're gonna go into the last word. You want to finish up, Bob? If you quiet, Damon, y'all want to finish up what we're talking about?
No, let him finish the point.
oh man, I'm forgot where I was. I had my daughter coming in. I lost my mind for a second. What was I
Easy
saying?
to do. Easy to do. I get it.
Well, I just think it's just as far as what you see the evolution of kids. Jaquari asked if you run into prima donnas and how you deal with it.
Yeah. So honestly, it's easier, and in my experience, it's easier to deal with them now because honestly, they ain't that good. They are not that good, man.
Yeah.
And I can pull up film right away. I can take what they're doing and be like, yo, this ain't it. Is that what you did in the game?
Yeah.
Right. So now they got to deal with it right away.
Yeah.
Right. They can't go home and come back a week later. I can just pull it up right away. So it's a lot easier to just tell them the truth and
Yeah.
make them deal with their own bullshit.
Gotcha.
You know,
So,
it's
so
so it's
is that
so
the
easy.
reason why the Europeans are dominating in the NBA right now? What I mean by Europeans, I'm talking about Giannis, and I'm talking
Yeah.
about
No, they grew up like we did. They
Mhm.
grew up like we did. They shut up, they listened, and they worked hard.
Is it?
And honestly, I mean that's probably isn't that the recipe for success? You put your head down, you keep grinding, you keep fighting, right?
I
and
think
you
You
know the
just
thing
go.
is,
I
here's
think
the
you.
thing that drives me crazy. My man from Canada, uh, with OKC,
Mm-hmm,
how the hell
mm-hmm.
he dominating, man? Really?
Man. So I had a kid from Canada, man. He ended up being a first round pick. He went to St. Bonaventure, Andrew Nicholson.
Okay.
So the kids, so I used to have the colleges used to send me kids in the summer. So they get here for about 6 weeks. Okay, 6 weeks in the summer. I would ask for 6 weeks. Some stayed longer because you got to get away from what you know if you truly want to grow.
Right.
So Sean would send me his kids. He would send me his kids. Ohio State was sending me kids. I had the A10 locked up. The A10, everybody from the A10 was coming into Boston, right? And they in the gym, and all these kids is fighting. Georgetown kids was coming in, so everybody fighting. You get about six at a time, right? You get about six at a time because you can't do more than that because you don't give them what they need. You just don't want runs. You got to give them their own specific stuff. But Andrew ended up getting A10 Player of the Year, and he's a Canadian kid. He's a
Okay.
Canadian kid. Ended up being a first round draft pick of Orlando. All right, Andrew Nicholson, dude. Let me tell you something. All he needed was to figure out how to work. That's it. So and when I talk about the conversations, it's those type of conversations that you have with those kids. Some of them get it, some of them don't. But I mean, he already had it in him. He wanted to work,
Yeah.
right? There was no excuse. He learned. There were some things he learned. But people that don't give excuses, man, and just work and try to learn, they're going to be successful. And I think that's what they do in Europe more than anything. They work,
Yeah.
Mm.
right? They
Well,
come from nothing. Many
you.
of them come from nothing.
But Bob, you said something that really made so much sense. You said the coaches have more power.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
it kind of it got here trainers. Not no real. And this is no disparagement of what I'm saying, but high school coaches when they stopped sending when NCAA stopped coaches from going to high school games.
Hmm.
This is
Hmm.
around 2009, 10 when they started doing that, right? That hurt high school's coaching
Yeah,
unless he's an old school dude. That hurt the high school coaches because
yeah,
because they was always at least close to the final say. You know what I'm saying? They had
yeah.
some kind of bearing on things. You know what I
They
mean?
did, man. But now, you got the kids being able to make money. The good kids, they can make money. So now honest, you've got a lot of the high school coaches trying to make money off the kid.
That's true.
If you have the relationship with the kid that you believe that you do, he's gonna give back anyway.
That's
But you
true.
can't throw yourself in the middle because now you got sharks fighting with other sharks, and I'm talking about the schools,
Hmm.
right? So the only person that gets hurt is the kid, right? The kid don't know what's going on. They're trying to sell. Man, up here in New England, these private schools, man, I watch these kids go back and forth. They're trying to change schools to figure out, where they can be the man. And I'm like, yo, change your address, never change the problem. So you can move wherever you want to, but dude, if you or young lady, if you don't just be quiet and stay still,
That's right.
right? Figure out who you gotta be. You're
Yeah.
gonna fail anyway.
Yeah.
And that's when you deal with the egos that you were talking about, right? So yeah, they have them, but once you sit them down and you make them look in the mirror, it becomes easy, man. It really does.
But the money aspect, though,
And a lot of people, man, a lot of people need that failure, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you need to fit. That's
But
right.
but but
But
failure,
you
we
you could be,
failure,
but
man.
can you be?
Failure should be failure should be the most worn tool in your
it's
toolbox.
the truth, man.
It
And,
should
That's
be.
right.
But failure is predicated on what? Propaganda. Who you
Failure,
trying to?
that's
failure is predicated on effort.
but see,
That's what failure is predicated on.
Damon, I think Ja'Quari is speaking on the degree of failure. He's not talking about completely,
Yeah, but how many
but
cats, man, that's playing in the NBA
Okay, so let me
had the
answer that.
opportunity,
Let me
had
answer
the
that.
opportunity,
Fair.
and
Okay,
wasn't
so we
didn't
talking
meet up to the challenge. Is what I'm saying.
I,
so we talking
And I'm
failure, right? We talking failure. Failure is not getting up again. You are bound to fail. And we are teaching our kids to we're trying to teach them to be successful, be successful. Now, what we need to do is sit there and tell them how to respond when they fail,
fine.
because
That's
it's
true.
going to happen, right? You will fail. I failed. I keep failing, but I keep getting back up.
Getting
That's
back.
how we was raised,
Yeah.
right? So, maybe it's giving them a better perspective, right? On what failure is. Maybe it's telling them to fail forward.
But
You're going right.
Mr. Martin, answer this question for me. All the best players in the NBA right now is from different countries. How the hell did that happen?
We've been talking about it, man. What do you mean?
We talking about Giannis. We talking about Joker. We talking about man in the OKC. We talking about they all.
You
How did they fall into that situation?
you over here sounding disgruntled like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I am
Hey
honestly.
man, they earned it, we also got to look at it as it's a global
But
game
how
now.
did
It's
they
a
get to
business.
the point where they put themselves in a position where they were more hungry than the people that was raised here?
Well,
How did
because
they
they go
do
through the same. They poor just like us. It's kids over there, man. If you go to Croatia, I remember when I was young. I was going to well, yeah, young, but
Croatia,
when
right?
I was playing, man, they got bullet holes in the walls and shit, man. You go to Russia, you
But
watching
how is that?
people.
But Bobby, how is that different from where we were raised? How is it
No,
different?
it's no different. This is what I'm saying. So now the game is expanded globally. It doesn't mean that they're better. It means that the money that's made, they got to make money. So you're going to put those guys in the front. Players know who's
So
good, right? They
so did
know.
they so did they earn it, or was they put in the position to be put
Damon,
out front?
Damon,
It's both. It's both. That's
you
the game.
see,
It's both. Yes.
Damon, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. As far as yeah, and I think Bobby is what the point he's trying to make is them cats is hungry because they are put on national teams and all this for their family's sake, right? Here, it's the same thing, but it's so many different channels and it's a formula that's being followed as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that said, but who's being sponsored more? You know what I'm saying? Now I
But
can say Joker is
mm-hmm,
that deal. He that guy.
mm-hmm,
Giannis is
mm-hmm.
that guy. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about who is that deal. I just had a podcast the other day where they said, do my man from what's his name? SVA. Do he have more skills than George?
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-uh.
So how many
Okay.
guys you know in the park that was better than a lot of guys you see in the NBA? I
It
know
was a
plenty
lot of
of them.
cat. It was a
A
lot of
lot
cats
of
in the
cats,
park.
right? So it's opportunity. It's where they placing you,
So
right?
who's being sponsored though? Who's being
Well, I mean, who's making the money?
position?
I mean, you got to just look at who's making the money. Who are the sponsors? They going to put on stage who they believe that they want. What player is going to give them the opportunity to make the most money? That's how you become a superstar. Now you got to be skilled, right? But you see they put you on the best teams, right? LeBron went from Cleveland. All right, we got to get him the hell out of Cleveland. So now he go to Miami, a bigger market. Then he going to L.A., right? You got Luca moving from Dallas to go to LA, right? I mean, this is what Kareem
Well,
went from
I
Milwaukee
have
to
my
go
own
to.
personal I have my own personal opinion about Luca. I do.
Okay,
Uh, all right.
I'm saying
Look.
Luca is that guy on offense, but he cannot play no defense whatsoever. I'm saying
okay, agreed.
Luca is a star, but he's a liability. Am I wrong or right in that
You're right.
aspect?
You're right. He ain't gonna play no D, but that ain't his job. He got them other cats to play D. He got to score.
And
He,
that's why he don't have. That's why he don't have he don't have he haven't won anything.
All right. Well, look.
He hasn't won anything. And guess what? Based on how he plays his game, he's never going to win anything
All right. We
unless
don't
he
know that,
has.
bro. We don't know that because he was with
Yes, I
Dallas.
do. I do
No,
know
no,
that.
no. Hold on. He was with Dallas, and he took him and Kyrie took those guys to the finals. Now,
And
Damon,
what happened?
Look, Damon, we're not going to debate all this because this was a great episode,
At some
and
point in time, bro, you have
we,
to debate it.
no, no,
I
no.
mean, this is
It's two.
reality.
Listen, we've had Bobby for 2 hours, bro. So this is why I'm trying to cut you. You have valid points, but I'm trying to, you know, I want him to come back. I don't want him to be like, well, damn, I was trying, but they done kept me 3, 4 hours.
Man, I can handle Damon. I got I still remember my grandmother. I can handle Damon, man. Damon's all right with me. It's my man. We good.
And there was valid questions, but
Yeah.
I told him a half an hour ago we was gonna wrap up. But but look, once he comes back, what we're going
The
to
one
do?
thing I know about Bobby, I know he ain't afraid of my ass. He went way beyond me. I'm just a Hall of Famer. He paid in the world.
What's the point, man?
So anything I say is not going to challenge him.
What that got to do with anything, bro? It don't have nothing to do with it. I was saying you was making good points, but we getting
I'm
ready to close
saying what
down.
I'm
That's
saying
all.
is that I can ask questions. I can
Okay.
ask questions because I don't know. The questions I ask is questions I don't know. It ain't challenging him. It's just asking.
What what do, what
What
is
do
it?
you think? What's
All
your
right, bro.
opinion?
Nobody's saying you challenging anybody, man. Did you hear what I just said? I said that we had to shut it down because we've been here for 2 hours. That's exactly what I said.
But you know what? This is why I like watching strong perspectives because I love watching y'all argue. It's real. It's real. I love the discussions. They real. I'm
Look,
loving this.
but look, what we do.
I can
Last
see
word.
that.
Last word. We'll start with you, Jaquari. Last word.
Bobby, man, I definitely enjoyed the conversation, man. And as we've told guests in the past, and hopefully be able to tell guests in the future, man, you always have a place here. Once you own, you can consider yourself recurring. if you want to bless us with your time again, if you have a subject you want to put out there, man, please feel free to contact us, man. We here for you, brother.
For sure, man. For sure. I love this. I appreciate you.
Damon, any last? No, Bob. Any last words when it comes to you, Damon?
No words, man. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I know this is near and dear to your hearts, and to invite me on, I'm extremely proud of it. I'm selfish to a point where I'm proud to have been invited.
Man,
Right. So thank you.
I'm glad you came, man. To be honest with
Absolutely.
you, I told Damon Jaquari that I knew you would do well because of the kind of person you are, the kind of personality you have, and also, knowing that you already have a podcast. And before we go to you, Damon, shout out your podcast again, Bob. Again, all
Lost in translation. Lost in translation. The WCTV Studios.
WCTV Studios, ladies and gentlemen.
Check it out.
Damon, any last word?
Here's my last word. This man played 20 years overseas, played in countries I've always wanted to experience and travel to and all that stuff. Man, that is, for me personally, being selfish. Man, how did it feel to play in France, Italy, and all that, man?
Man, I'm very fortunate to have been able to travel the world and play. Ain't no place like Spain. Um, it was a great time. I got to change the names to protect the innocent. It was a wonderful time, man. Wonderful time. You know, just
Hey,
blessed.
Yes, sir.
me and my wife want to travel to Italy and Spain.
I would
We say,
suggest you do it, man. Go to the south of Spain, man, or go to Barcelona up in the north. But you go down to Malaga, man, or go to the Canary Islands. You'll have a wonderful time, man. Beautiful country, beautiful.
that's where I stand on it.
Okay.
I don't give a damn about basketball. You live that life, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want
Yep.
to know what it feels like.
My last words is this is Strong Perspective Podcast. Do us a favor, go to our YouTube channel by the same name, Strong Perspective Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Matter of fact, let's do this challenge. Challenge everybody that you know to go to our YouTube channel, spend 30 seconds there, like, share, and subscribe for us. Push us over the mark that we need to be able to be in the algorithm to be seen more. This is a conversational podcast, and what we do is we learn about each other, we learn about each other's likes, and that's what I enjoy the most. And Damon Armstrong, I'm glad. I love you, brother. Jaquari Armstrong, I love you. Bobby, I love you, brother.
Love you
Thank
too,
you.
my man.
Man.
Appreciate you.
Look,
Hey,
this is
man, share, and subscribe, man, because we better than just goddamn street fights and cute kittens and shit.
My last word, hey Bobby, man, talk to our people about the places you've been, bro. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? I'm gonna say it this way. I've had a chance to go all around the world, but in the end, the most amazing place I've ever been is I've come back to myself.
okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. You know, there's no place like home, man. No place like home when you start to figure it out. And I'm excited about what I'm gonna find out about myself some more. Always learning.
Look. That's a clip in itself, brother. Somebody clip that is going viral. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like that. But listen, thanks again, Bob. We definitely appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, gentlemen.
This is
Y'all have a
strong.
good one.
This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Stay on for a second, Bob. Strong
Okay.
Perspective Podcast. We'll see you next Friday.
Peace.
Peace.